Look, we turning conversation into application. This ain't for you if you can't handle deep communication. I see too many trying to teach when they need all the teaching. If you can't practice what you preach, then what's the point of speaking? Look, we thank the Lord for another season. Don't think they ready for you, Lee. I think them boys are sleeping. But we gon' hustle every hour like it's our last. Open up your mind, it's the converSAYtion podcast. Yeah.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the converSAYtion podcast, where we turn conversation into application. I am your host, Leon Reed Jones, and today I got my family in the building once again. I had to bring my cousin to the new spot for the podcast. I have none other than my cousin, Davon. What's going on, bro? How you doing?
What's going on with you, dog? Appreciate you for having me.
Yes, sir. We back in the building with our actions.
Yeah.
Nah, man, glad to have you in here, man. And before we get started, man, let's just talk about, we talked about some of your past writings and some of your past songs. So what's new on the horizon for you as far as your music? I know we've talked off camera a whole bunch of times about, you writing and doing different things. So what's on the horizon as it's the summertime, before we know that it'll be fall. So what's on the horizon for you as far as your music goes?
Really, I've been really just a lot of ideas I got in the tuck. Just been really a lot of writing, a lot of making, a lot of songs that I haven't put out yet publicly. I put out like maybe 2 or 3 songs these past few months, but really like the whole direction for me with the music is really I'm trying to change the whole kind of like, I want to be a little bit more personal, get a little bit more in depth, tell a little bit more stories, like go more into detail about stories of my life. I just want to switch the whole thing up, maybe like rap over more jazzier beats, more neo soul influenced beats. I'm just trying to change the whole identity of the music completely, because like you gotta remember, like last time we told us that last year, it's done been a year. I done changed and been through so many different things, so it's like I just want to take a whole different perspective with the music. I was like more therapeutic, more like therapy based, so it's a lot of more like I got a lot of stuff. I'm gonna show you some stuff, of course, but like I got a lot of like crazy stuff coming. Even like my podcast, Socially Introverted, like I want to expand that into a brand. I've had that idea to expand Socially Introverted into a brand. I even thought about like one day when this music stuff pop off eventually, you remember, how Detroit always had the state fair when we were young, like coming up with like a festival that like a collaboration with Socially Introverted and that, to throw like a festival and like have the artists from the city like come out and we do that. Everybody like little local vendors, they could sell they merchandise, local like food spots. I got a whole bunch of ideas that I just got in the tuck, like, and give me like 5-10 years, bro, all that stuff gonna come to fruition for sure. I got a lot of stuff, bro.
I'm always supporting it at the end of the day, man. So I know just the type of person you are and the determination and the ideas that you have, I know it's gonna come true, bro. So that's great to hear, bro. And I just always, how we kick it, whether it's FaceTime, text, funny video, whatever, man.
Right.
Like, I'm just proud of what you're doing and I support it all the way. And I tell you all the time, like when we hang out, we talk, just like your music, cause everybody wants to rap, pursue music for whatever, reason. Everybody had their different reasons. But like with you, I can honestly say, not just because you're my family, but more so because I see the work you put in behind closed doors, and I see the ideas that you may send me that maybe nobody's seen before, or, that you haven't released yet. And it's like, I know you told me one time, like, or you tell me all the time, really, like, man, I be waiting on bro, this song ain't it, or like, nah, I ain't really like this one. But every time, bro, like literally, I haven't heard a bad song from you, bro. I haven't heard a song where I'm like, bro, I don't want to listen to that, or like, I'm cool. There's been some people where it's like, bro, I don't even know why you sent me that, dog.
Yeah.
But, that's another story for another time, man. Everybody got to do what they got to do. But no, man, I just, like I tell you, man, the stories that you tell with your music, that's what I love to hear. Like, it's like you're going on a journey or a chapter in your life, man. So like for you, when you write and when you think of going in the direction that you want to go in, like, who have been some current influences that push you, or what have been some situations that push you to be a little more vulnerable in this season, or allow you to say, hey, I want to take it up a notch, and kind of explain a little bit more of what I'm talking about in my music?
Just like not being afraid to express how I feel, bro.
Yeah.
Like I've always just been, since a kid, I just been fearless as far as like, I'm not embarrassed to tell my flaws, bro.
Yeah.
Like I'm not embarrassed to, like you, like I done talk to you about stuff. I done talk to my mom about stuff. I done talk to my sisters.
Yeah.
I done, girls I done dated. Like I don't care about being vulnerable, bro. We all human. Like, cause I'm almost as positive the same things I'm dealing with 9 times out of 10 you dealing with too. Cause we human, you know what I'm saying? So it's like putting it on wax is nothing for me. Like even to hear people call me a storyteller, I don't look at it like that. I'm just writing, bro. Yeah. But to hear somebody be like, oh, you storytelling. I've had multiple people, bro. This is storytelling. I'm just looking at it as I'm just talking. That's why I say, like, when I'm writing, dog, this is literally therapeutic for me. Like the mic is my therapist, and it's sitting there listening to me vent. Like I'm just venting. Like to me, I don't really look at it like that. I'm just not embarrassed to show my scars, and I think that just comes from being young and always just having that unapologetic, fearless, just battery in my back since I've been a kid. So I'm just not afraid to express it. So it's like with the music getting deeper is nothing for me. I tell you, bro, I done had my heart broken. I done cried over a girl. I done been depressed. I done been financially down. I done been bullied. I done bullied other people because I was hurting. I done hurt girls I said I love. You know what I'm saying? I done did several things. I done been suicidal. I done talked about all these things. But I've also been joyful. I've smiled. I've laughed. I've had great times in my life. So it's like, I think a lot of times in life, and I was just talking about this when I was praying like the other day to God or whatever, like the duality in life is something that's not talked about enough. It's ups and it's downs. Just like, you know how like you got people in music nowadays, when they make music, it's like it's this one thing, one lane, and that's it. It's like, but not telling both perspectives of life or just what you're going through. Like, bro, I cried this week, but it's also been a time this week where I laughed too. Because it's both sides of the spectrum, and I just be feeling like I'm just not afraid to tell that about myself, bro. I'm not embarrassed. Like, I done been desperate before. You know what I'm saying? I done looked for other people's validation because I was insecure. It's human, bro. And I just be feeling like, why would I be afraid of being a human being? Most importantly. So it's just, that's why I don't really got a problem with it, bro. I just put it out there, and it is what it is.
Yeah, man. You said it in one of your songs, man. You said, I'm not trying to ramble. I'm just venting to you. You know what I'm saying? About your life, what you're going through, the things that you see in your everyday life. And I think what holds people back a lot of times from, you know, sharing their stories with somebody that can benefit from it or not go down, you know, the same path as they did is the fact of the matter is a lot of people scared, man. They scared to, you know, reveal their true selves because it's easy to put on the mask. And, you know, when somebody really know you, like, that's like, you know, I had the conversation, you know, with you about, you know, a falling out I had with some people in my life. And it's like, you know, and granted, we've probably all grown since then. But it's like when you know somebody, you know, like that's like the situation. I always use this now. Like when my page got hacked, I ain't gonna lie, I was too sick because my podcast page had got temporarily hacked. My Facebook page had got hacked. I had to make a new Facebook page. My motivational page got hacked. And I was praying they ain't hack my main page. But luckily that was saved. But it was like, man, I was doing everything in my power to make sure I got my page back. And I looked up, it was like almost 10, 15 DMs of supposedly me asking people for like money and all that. Then everybody came back to me was like, oh, I know this wasn't you, bro, because I know you wouldn't do that. Like, I'm not saying it like I'm just a baller, but like I'm never gonna DM somebody on Instagram for no cheese. I'm not doing that, bro. Now, if that's what y'all do, if that's what people do, everybody got you know, I'm never doing that. And people know that, and it's good to know, like, you know, not that I'm looking for somebody to vouch for me, but it's like, we knew that wasn't you because we know how you are. And it's like, I think people are afraid of people finding out who they really are because so many people are walking around with different, you know, personalities or like multiple, you know, versions of themselves. Like, obviously we grow if we allow ourselves to, that is anyway. But like you said, I'm literally the same way, bro. Like I said, you know how we kick it, bro. It's like, we talk about stuff all the time, man. So it's like, I ain't afraid to stand alone doing the right thing. I ain't afraid to be the lame dude. Like, I'm not afraid to be the quote unquote cornball when I know, like, you calling me a cornball because I'm not participating in something that you think is cool. Like, I'm okay with that. And a lot of people, they not used to people standing on who they are. You know, a lot of people, they talk about standing on business, but I'm starting to realize when people say that, y'all not really standing on business. So you it's a phrase that you heard somebody say it. And it's like, I respect that about you as well, because that's the type of, you know, family that we were raised under, and that's the type of examples we saw. In turn, that is the reason why we are the way that we are. You know, outside of us being our own individual people, it's like you said, man, what do I gain from, you know, not being who I truly am? If anything, I cause myself and the people around me and those who may look up to me a disservice if I'm not who I am. You know, I think Damian Lillard, he said it in a song he made, like, you know, I'm doing a disservice if I never reach my purpose on the surface of this earth. You get what I'm saying? Like, if I'm here and I got purpose and I'm supposed to reach people, and by being who I am and being who God has created me to be, and I'm not walking in that, I'm doing myself a disservice, and all those who's supposed to cross my path or all those whose paths I'm supposed to cross. So, man, I resonate with that because it's so many people out here living the lie, bro. And it ain't because of other people. It starts with us. Like, only reason why somebody ever believed it was, let me not use that example. I was about to say ugly, but you know, beauty is in the eye of the beholder, so can't use that one. So only reason why you believe like, oh man, I ain't worth nothing, is because you took the time and energy to believe it. It wasn't because what they said was true. It only became true because you welcomed it into your life. It's 100%. Like older people say, 100%. Like, it's not about what people call you, it's what you answer to. Exactly. So you weak, yes, because you answer to that, right? You are strong because you know that and you walk in that. People walk in weakness just like they walk in strength, because it's like something in them that, hey, somebody say something, you have the power. If somebody says to you, oh, you never gonna make it, if you don't make it, it won't be because of their words. It's because you took on their words and now it's a burden on you, and now you walking with that burden. So, man, I resonate with that, bro. Like, truthfully, I do, man, because it's like, you don't gain nothing from not being yourself. You actually lose a lot from being yourself.
And you know the craziest part, like, not to keep rambling about it, but like, bro, like, just because I talk about it, I'm still dealing with it.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? It don't just go away. Like, I'm still dealing with it to this day, and I'm working through it, and eventually you'll get to a point. Like, I don't think you'll ever get to a point where you're 100% healed, but you'll be better than you were before. Like, I could look at 5 months ago and say, I'm not the same Davon I was 5 months ago. I ain't the same Davon I was 8 months ago. Yeah. So that's showing that progress is being made, and as long as you continue to keep taking baby steps, put one foot in front of the other, you'll be where you're trying to go, dog.
Yeah, for sure, man. And I think it's like this. Like, I look at situations, and that's the difference. What you said, which leads me, into my next question for you. A lot of times people don't see what they want to see because they haven't changed, like the quote says, nothing changes if nothing changes, right? It's so many people walking around that we know, that we see, that are in this world, that are doing the same thing, expecting different results. They call that insanity, bro. like really, they call that like insanity. I can't, keep eating donuts and expect to have a 6-pack. I can't keep spending money and expect to save it.
Right.
It doesn't. Yeah, I'm supposed to say, because, you know, it's always a rebuttal for something. And people that know me, the rebuttal folks, like I'm doing with my hands now, you got it. I'm never arguing with you, dog. But it's always going to be that rebuttal of, well, you know, I do this when I'm 30, but you're not waiting on, you know, somebody to tell you, or you're not ashamed to say, like, even though I'm telling you I'm going through this, I'm still a work in progress. I'm still a person that, even though I'm improved, I'm constantly wanting more improvement. Like, I know I'm not who I was a year ago. I can say the same thing for myself. The mindset I was in, or the places, like the place I was in mentally, like I'm not there no more, but it's still a gradual growth. Is not I get to my peak. Like, it's not like sports. It's not like I play for 10 years and I'm done. Mm-hmm. But even with NBA players, even with NFL players, you're seeing that there's a new level. There's a new level of growth. You look at Matt Barnes and Steven Jackson. I always bring them up when I talk about my podcast, because outside of me being silly and wanting to use my voice to uplift people and be a voice for others who may not feel comfortable speaking, they were a big podcast for me that I listened to towards the end of my college career. Like, listening to them, it helped me, like, okay, no, let me put this in motion. My brother's always been on my head about starting a YouTube channel or a podcast page. I got the motivational page, but I think I want to do something different. And like, these guys weren't all-stars, Hall of Famers. Like, these guys were great at their role. You know what I'm saying? And they pivoted and made a podcast. And now, because of them, it's a whole bunch of sports podcasts out there. It's a whole bunch of people. Like Michael Porter Jr. got a podcast. Lonzo Ball and his brother, LiAngelo, got a podcast. You look up and you see Eddie House and Mike Bibby got a podcast. All because, Draymond Green and Baron Davis, Shannon Sharp, all these people, Paul Pierce, KG, like all of these people, like the list goes on, bro. And it's like, you know, there is always a next step. It's always another level of growth if, like I said before, you allow it. And you're living your life like, I'm going to do something about it. And I ain't going to keep saying, bro, I'm depressed. Bro, I'm broke. I'm this. I'm sad. But it's other people that keep talking about it, you know, and it's other people that do something about it. And in the process of that, like, don't get it twisted. You speaking from a place of like vulnerability to say, I'm getting better, but I still got work to do. And that, you know, teaches us grace, not just for others, but for ourselves as well. Because a lot of times we give grace to others, but don't give grace to ourselves, man. And because we mess up, and it's probably the perfectionists in, you know, a lot of us that want to do better, want to be better. Like, man, this is what I wrote down on a piece of paper. This is what I told myself I wanted to do. I prayed to God and asked him about this, and he's helping me through it, but I keep messing up. So then you start to have that burden on yourself, or you start to get down on yourself, not realizing like, bro, God is with you all the way. And like you said, bro, I'm a work in progress, and I got to keep going. I got to stack my days. Just like they say with money or anything else, you know, it's the same thing when you're trying to overcome an addiction, overcome a habit, trying to form a better habit so you don't go back to the old habits. You got to learn to teach yourself grace and get up every time that God gives you breath in your body and keep going, bro. Like with me, I was just telling a friend of mine, like, with me reading the Bible, back to reading the Bible again. I'm not gonna lie to you. I legit didn't read the Bible consistently since 2020, bro. When the pandemic, I was reading the Bible every single day. I went back to school and was only doing my devotionals. And even then, I was struggling with that. I graduated, bro. I wasn't doing no devotionals, none of that. It wasn't until like it was getting closer to 2025. I'm like, bro, I gotta go find me a devotional. Now, granted, shout out to my guy Pace. Y'all go subscribe to his devotional Thoughts by Pace. But I was reading his, but even his, like, for a while, and it wasn't that his was terrible. They were great. But it was like I was just on some, like, I'm a pray. I was doing stuff out of routine, bro. Like, I was doing things like, oh, I know I've been praying since I was a little boy. I know I got to go to work. I got to do this. I got the mentoring program. But then, like, I'm driving home one day from work, and I'm just like, bro, just thinking about it, like, dang, bro, like, habits are good. Routines are good. But it's like it get to a point where you just doing it just because that's all you know versus being intentional, bro. And that's why this season I named the theme intentional clarity, bro. Like, because you can get clarity on a situation, but not being intentional about your next steps. So, like, for me, that's what it was. For me, this is the season that I'm in. Like, I'm not just praying just because I pray and that's what I'm supposed to do and that's what I've been doing my whole life. I'm praying and I'm talking to God about the things that are going to help me and change my heart and change me as a better person. So I look like who God is actually preparing me and prepping for me to be, that the person that he's always called me to be. Or when I talk to God or when I'm listening to God, I'm listening intently about this is what I need to do. These are the steps that I need to take. This is what I need to be doing. This is what I don't need to be doing. So, and a lot of that was missing, bro, from, you know, relationships, from studying the Bible. And now, bro, I just finished like 3 books that I bought before the new year started. It was one, my first book was Wallow, Armed with Good Intentions, powerful book. Finished that probably maybe 2-3 months ago. Just finished this book regarding disciplines of a godly man. Then the book that I just finished, like maybe a few weeks ago, was a book by my guy JD James Doggett Jr. called On My Blessed Behavior, a book about holy habits. And so just that intentionality, because people do stuff, bro, and they don't know, like, man, I'm finna hit the gym. I'm finna run up the hill today. You ran up that hill and didn't know why you ran up that hill, dog. Yeah. Or 100%. Like, man, I'm about to go do this. I see Davon rapping, I'm finna get in the booth. Like, yeah, he can be an inspiration. Ain't nothing wrong with that. But know why you want to go in there. Yep. Know why you running up and down the hill. Know why you got the membership. 100%. Know why you want the car. Know why you want that job. Know why you want it. Because at the end of the day, it don't matter what you and I think about somebody else's decision, because they're the ones that got to live with it. We may be affected by it if it's somebody close to us or somebody we love. But at the end of the day, they got to live with the choices and the consequences that they've made. Mm-hmm. So it's like my biggest thing in this season and moving forward, just being intentional, bro. And that kind of moves me to the part about, you kind of mentioned it earlier about, like, man, I'm flawed, but I don't have no problem telling people I'm flawed, because I'm still a work in progress. I'm still a person who is, you know, trying to get it right. And so you said something, and I've been paying even more attention to your TikTok videos, man. And I feel like you've been starting a movement just of, like, healing and helping people, bro, by way of TikTok with the different, you know, reels that you put out. And you had something on there where it says you could survive but not be healed. So talk a little bit about what you meant by that, and, like, how you see people that have survived situations but they're not necessarily healed.
Okay, so if we take the Black community, right, because we can only speak for Black people, we measure resiliency to mean worth, right? So if you survived a lot in the Black community, oh man, I mean, you must be a great person because you withstood all that. But it's like, how many things can you say you survived but you're not healed from? It's been 10 years, and yeah, you may have survived your father abandoning you. You may have survived that girl breaking your heart, but it's no coincidence that when someone brings it up or when you speak about it, you're still crying 10 years because you haven't healed. Right. You could break up with a girl. You ever heard dudes break up with a girl? I can't stay out. I never want to see her face again. It's done been 12 years since you done seen this girl, but you still harboring that because you haven't healed. Yeah. And it's like, we live in such a generation where people either feel too much or they don't feel at all. And they come back to what I said earlier, the duality, right? You have to really take the time to grow from this thing and be self-aware. One of the biggest blessings that I'm glad that I have is the gift of self-awareness, because I can check myself when I'm tripping. Yeah. You got to know, check yourself. Something intentionally, because think about it. All the feelings that you may feel with something that triggers you at 24, you at, how old you again?
26.
Yeah, 26. I make sure I got it right. 26 and 24, right? You may see Davon get angry at something at 24, but that's 6-year-old Davon who never healed properly from that event in his life. Yeah. So he got to take the time to constantly, let's unravel that. Why does that bother you? Why does that thing trigger you at 24? Let's dig down. Like, the hardest thing to do, I'm telling you, like, come back to your intentional point, bro. A lot of people are not intentional about what they doing, because one of the hardest things to do is sit with yourself. So it's easy to run. Let me go to the gym. I'm run up this hill, but you don't even know why you're doing it. Right. You're trying to distract yourself because you're not being intentional with what you're doing it for. And that take away from you actually trying to dig down. Let's see the root of what's going on. I hate how our generation is so bent, is so set on things just happen. No, it's a reason as to why that thing is happening. Yeah. Why is that thing triggering you, bro? Yeah. So really sit with yourself and be self-aware. Write it out if you got to. Pray to God about it. Talk about it, bro. You gotta unravel them layers, bro. You gotta you have to peel them layers back if you want to get to the place that you actually want to be in a much healthier place. Because you got to think about it like this, bro. I'm gonna have children one day. Yeah. I want my children to grow up like me. Yeah. And I love my mom and my dad, but I get they didn't have the proper tools, so therefore they couldn't give it to us. Yeah. And you forgive them because you realize, like you said, grace. I get it. It's things that they haven't healed from and they still learning. My mother's still healing from stuff and she's 50. Yeah. She's still healing because it don't ever stop. But you got to actually take the time to be intentional with that healing, bro. I'm sick of surviving. Yeah. I'm sick of surviving. Yeah, I survived, but I just put Band-Aids over the wounds. I ain't gonna put no Neosporin on it. I ain't gonna try to stitch it up, put no stitches on it. Nah, bro, I want to heal. Yeah. I genuinely want to heal myself because I'm sick of carrying trauma, dog. Yeah. At some point, you gotta want change for yourself. At some point, bro. You ain't tired of living in dysfunction. You're not tired of having a traumatized mindset. You're not tired of pushing people away that's good for you, but your trauma is making you push them away because you feel like, oh man, you gonna leave me anyway. Yeah. You ain't tired of that? You're not tired of not being able to have a civilized discussion with somebody because you think they attacking you? Right. You ain't tired of not being able to listen to someone and just let them tell you about yourself and actually like, hey, maybe I am. You're not tired of that? Yeah. You're not tired of, not to be vulgar or explicit, but smashing different women to run from your pain because you using them for validation? Yeah. Because it's a void within you that's not being filled. You're not pouring into your own cup. You're not tired of that? After you break up with your girl, I'm outside. For what? Right. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. For what? Just so you can go to another woman and do the same things that you was doing in this relationship because you didn't take the time to heal? You're not tired of that? Yeah. At some point, bro, you gotta stop surviving and heal, bro. All that, I'm built for it, I'm strong, I survived. Okay, that's cool, but you not healed. So what are we talking about? Yeah. Something ain't clicking, bro. I don't care how strong you is, bro. How healed are you? Yeah. That's what it's about. So I just feel like healing has to be more intentional. And I get it. We live in a time where they talk about mental health, but they don't care. Yeah. It ain't really dived into how it should be. Yeah. It's cool for the moment or when it come a dollar sign behind it. But it's like healing it really needs to be had, especially in men. Society teaches us when we little kids, we shouldn't feel. Yeah. We can't feel nothing. You can't express, you can't be emotional, you can't be none of that, right? Bro, you human. You supposed to. It's okay. I just told you, dog, I cried this week because, dog, I was frustrated with something. Yeah. I'm a human, dog. Yeah. So it's like, bro, like I said, at some point, you got to be willing to break them barriers and try to heal yourself, bro, so you could be a better person. You know what I'm saying? Bro, you just reminded me of like something I was like, I ain't gonna lie, I'd be around the crib like replaying situations or like seeing how I could have done something or like, why didn't I say this to this person? Or like, why didn't I'm saying it now, but it don't matter now because a few months later or, you know, a week later or days later. And I was just thinking like, bro, I was telling somebody about, you know, and I think I told you about this, like with some situations I was dealing with, you know, last year, regarding some people I just ain't, you know, around no more for real. And I'm just like, I was thinking the other day, I'm like, man, me, I know the type of person like I am. When I see
it go back to self-awareness. Like when I know an individual, it's certain things I will say and won't say around it because I know you. I know what type of person. Like, so if you come to me and be like, bro, that really bothered me what you said, I'd be like, man, you soft, dog. You like, come on, man. Like I ain't never been a person like that unless like you really do something that I feel like is soft. To me, I would probably call somebody soft if they like, you know, I see a grown man picking on the little kid, something like that. That's soft to me. Or like, you know, a grown man raise his hand to a woman or something like that, or a man, boy in general, put his hands on a woman. But like, we live in a day and age, we could talk about everything. And I said this, bro. I said, like, I was telling my pops, like, man, we could talk about who the finest girl is, who got the most money, what's the move. But if your homeboy come to you, like, it's very rare, bro. Like, it's very rare. I feel like, at least in my experiences, what I've seen, like, it's very rare that a dude can come to his homeboy or somebody he feel like is his brother and be like, bro, I ain't really like what you said, or I ain't really like how you went about that, or I don't like when you do this. And now you a female, and now you a hoe, now you this, now you all of this. But like, dang, I can't. If you my brother, if we saying we brothers, it shouldn't be nothing we can't discuss. It shouldn't be nothing but I'm telling you, bro, like the last 2 years opened my eyes to so much, bro. And I'm not even, by no means, y'all, am I trying to get deep. I'm not a deep guy. Like when I say my eyes have been open, I ain't talking about a third eye, a seventh eye. So for y'all that, you know, I don't know all that. But I'm saying, like, for me, like, it just showed me so much. Like, I probably don't need to be in that environment no more. And not to say I was in any dangerous environments. It's like, looking back, I'm like, I don't like the way certain stuff went down, but I'm actually glad this happened. Yeah. Because if I'd have still been around, I probably would have got fed up at what I was seeing, dog. Sure. But everything come to light, bro. So it's like sometimes God will move, you know, because it's like, bro, I'm trying to show you this and you ain't doing nothing. So let me go ahead and get rid of all this stuff because you playing. Right. And I feel like for me, that's what it was because, like, I just saw, like, man, I'd be a fool to be, like I told you, bro, I'd be a fool to be cool with y'all again, dog. I'd be a fool to go back to certain environments again. Yeah. If after what I've been shown and I see this, I got the proof of it in front of me and I just be like, oh, bet, no, it's cool. Like, it's cool from a standpoint, like, I ain't gonna dwell on it. I ain't gonna trip. Right. But nah, like, I'm cool. And I think a lot of times, like, when you go your way, you know, so many times when you separate from people or when you separate from certain environments, it's like people think, you know, it's always attached to beef. It's just like, you just outgrow stuff. And that's what I've realized about me with certain things. It's like, I already don't do a lot anyway. So it's like, it's just less I got to do. It's even more stuff I don't do. Yeah. So it's kind of like, it's just like, you just see, bro, like you can't, certain people you just can't say stuff to. It's like, I'm soft because I said how I felt about something. But, you know, my whole thing be like, like, I'm going to try to say this the best way. Like, you know, let's not forget. like my boy Omarion said, I don't forget. Like, I just believe in, you know, when it comes to relationships, any form, not like and me, I'm not a person like, oh, I know you longer, so you got your loyalty is more so to me than that. Because, bro, I done met people in the last year or two that got better care and love for me than people I done known majority of my whole life. So I ain't a person that's your beef is my beef. Nah, that's your beef. Right. And I'm gonna let you handle it. And I'm gonna be on this side of the fence. And I ain't a person that's, you know, taking sides. If my cousin wrong, I'm gonna be like, bro, nah, that shouldn't have did that. Because that's how you get better. You may not want to hear it in a moment or vice versa. I may not want to hear it in a moment, but I know, oh, I ain't around no yes man. And I can't be with nobody that's yes man. I can't be around. Seriously. I get nervous when I see dudes that's yes man. It's one thing for girls to do it, but when it's guys doing it, it's kind of like, okay,
Yeah.
I don't know, man. You scaring me, dog.
For real.
But my whole thing is, bro, like, again, you call somebody family, you call somebody a friend, you know, it shouldn't be nothing that you shouldn't be able to discuss, bro. And I think, like, as far as men, I think a real man can tell his problems to his boys and they not judge him. I think a real man can tell his homeboy, like, bro, that really pissed me off that you did that. Or, bro, you really did this and you called me your brother? Like, no, brothers don't do that. Or like, you my friend, but you went and did this and I didn't know about it. Or I had to find out from a second party. You feel me? Like, nah, men don't do that. That's what cowards do. That's what snakes do. And for me, I just think a real man is, you know, somebody who is not afraid to be themselves and around people that feel the same way, bro. So when you talk about the healing and, you know, like you said, it's a lot of people in survival mode because that's all they know.
Exactly.
And I'm not going to sit here and say, because I don't think entirely with everybody that's the case. I don't think everybody is a person that don't want change. It is some people that when you see them and you hear them talk, they for sure don't want change. But there's other people, it's like, they trying to figure out how to change, right? Because if you spent 20 years, you know, doing what you've been doing,
right? You
know, and now you 21, it's like that first year when you trying to make that change, it's difficult because, it's easier to stay here. It's easier to stay where I'm comfortable. It's easy for me to stay in the bed. My AC kicking. I'm laid back. I'm chilling.
Streaming apps is hitting on something.
Man, I'm going to sleep to Mike Epps' comedy show. I don't got to move, but it's like, now when I get, it's like a little kid. I compare it to when I was a little kid. Like, you in bed, you watching TV, or you playing a game. You comfortable. You where you at? And it's like, Leon, I need you to come upstairs. Now you got to pull the blanket off. You got to pause the game. Now you out your comfort zone because I was locked in to the game. I was going to beat this next level. Now you calling me upstairs to do something I don't want to do. Right. It's the same thing in life, bro. So it's like, I could just go back to doing this because this is what I know. This is what is highlighted in my community or my bubble that I'm in. But part of me want to change. It's like that seesaw effect. It's like, dang, I'm up here because it's comfortable. But I really want to be here because I want to get rid of these habits, see why I got the trauma I have, see why I'm doing the stuff that I'm doing, and then now find a better way. A lot of people are in environments where that's all they seeing. And now it's like a tug of war to where it's, bro, it's like Paul said in the Bible, bro, the good things I want to do, I'm not doing. The bad things I don't want to do, I keep doing. So it's like if he's saying that some thousands of years ago, we still dealing with it in 2025. You just sat here and said, I'm better than I was 5 months ago, but it's still stuff I'm wrestling with. But the difference is I'm working through it. You feel me? So that's just, man, I love that you made that video and we was able to sit and talk about that, man, because I think that's a point that needs to be highlighted because it is so many people that's in survival mode or they survive the rape or they survive the violence, right? They were the ones who got away when their friends got killed, or they were the ones who saw abuse in the home, right? They still living, they still breathing, but you got to do more than survive. You got to heal, like you said. And I just think people just got to, get to a place where you find the resources, man. I'm a firm believer is like, I heard Kirk Franklin say, like, sometimes the best answer you can give is, I don't know. But what you can do is the qualities and the skills and the resources that you do possess outside of what you don't have or that you don't possess, you can offer, hey, I know a counselor. Hey, I know a mentoring program you can go to. Hey, man, I know a church you can go to. I know some people that meet on Wednesdays and talk about their trauma and talk about, their therapy. So any little thing that you can give. Or you may have to say, bro, I never experienced what you've been through, but I'm here for you, bro. And we gonna get through this thing together, man. And I think when we come to that resolve, you'll see a lot more change in not just our community, but in life in general, bro.
Yep.
And so it was another video that you made, and you said, you talked about how you're so happy with the fact that you're an unfinished product. So for you, what is the joy that comes with that in your eyes?
Because there's always room for growth. Mm-hmm. You never stop. Like, it's like I have to tell myself, I got to appreciate where I am so I can appreciate where I'm trying to go. Because what's the fun in getting everything that you want? Then it's kind of like, all right. Yeah. 9 times out of 10, you wouldn't appreciate it because you didn't actually have to work for it. Yeah. If I'm an unfinished product, I always got something to look forward to work toward. Yeah. So I'm going to fall, I'm going to get back up, and I'm going to move 10 steps. And I remember my therapist was telling me, like, look at it like this too. When you're in your process of trying to grow, what may have brought you 10 steps back before may only bring you 5 now because you're taking the time to actually work on yourself. Everybody an unfinished product, dog. Yeah. But that's the beauty of being human. Like, dog, like, I still got things that I want to fix, bro. I still got insecurities, all kind of things that I want to improve about myself. Like, even with my music, dog, like, I want to become better. Like, I know people hear my music and, man, this is dope. This music is amazing and all that, but it's still room for growth for me because I ain't finished yet. I ain't even reached my peak where I want to go. Yeah. I ain't even in my prime as a human. Yeah. I still got, I still got ways to go. And I feel like the more that you embrace being an unfinished product, the more that you will start to embrace the journey of trying to grow as a person. Cause like you said, man, like, I may be ashamed to talk about my problems around certain people because I don't know how you gonna react. Mm-hmm. But that's a part of being an unfinished product. Maybe one day I'll get to the point where I don't even care what you think. Yeah. I'm gonna say it. Yeah. But that's something I gotta work on in private. Like, maybe one day I will get to the point where I'm not distracted by women. Yeah. But sometimes it take work. And I would get to a point where I don't even let it distract me. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Even sometimes when it comes time to write a verse, bro, I don't want to write a verse every day. Yeah. But that's a part of being an unfinished product. You're going to be lazy sometimes. And I'm working on trying to cut back on the lazy stuff. Yeah. When it comes to being horrible with money, I'm an unfinished product, bro. I'm learning how to start saving money better. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, my communication has to improve. Like, ain't nobody, like, but it come to what you said too. Being young, always feeling like I had to be a perfectionist because as a kid, I was always good at so many things and I got praised by people so young that I always felt pressure. I felt like I had to earn and I got to work extremely hard and I can't mess up because if I mess up, I'm a failure. And that's just not the truth. I'm just now getting to a point where I'm trying to uncondition my mind from perfectionism. That when I mess up, my mind is so conditioned, like you said. Something key you said is, bro, you've been doing this for 20 plus years. You can't expect yourself to automatically just, okay, I want to change. It don't work like that. Yeah. So while I'm telling myself, embrace being an unfinished product, I'm still like, nah, well, you should have did it better. But it's like, you got to catch it. It's a battle, bro, with your mind. That junk is a battle. You got to really go against all the things you've been taught. And it's hard. And it comes to what you said too. It's comfortable to just relax. Yeah. It's comfortable to just be, do the same things you've been doing all this time. Why would I change? Yeah. This is comfortable. I feel good. I can, you know what I mean? At least I know what to expect. If I try to change, I don't know what to expect from that. I don't know what's going to come with that. So it's like, embrace being an unfinished product. I got to get better at showing gratitude because a lot of times I'm ungrateful. Yeah. That's a part of being an unfinished product, bro. Like, it is what it is. Like, it's growth. It's growth. I'm an unfinished product. When we recorded our podcast last year, I was nervous. You know what I'm saying? I was overthinking, but I'm an unfinished product. Now I'm still an unfinished product, but I'm better than I was last year. For sure. You know what I'm saying? So you ain't never done with improving, bro. It's always something to work towards. Small goals, dog, like small wins, even like celebrating the small wins, bro. Like, I'm at a point where I'm writing in my notebook sometimes celebrating the small wins. Something I might have did before. Like, dang, I get anxious around a lot of people. Or the day I didn't. That's something to celebrate. Yeah. That's something to celebrate. Or then maybe the next hour I might get anxious again because I'm an unfinished product, bro. I'm working on it. It's ups and downs. So you got to be patient with yourself as much as possible, bro. And just embrace being an unfinished product, dog. I'm flawed, bro. And I'm okay with it. Yeah. Like, because I'm human and it is what it is, bro. You going to judge me because I'm flawed? You going to judge me because I ain't finished or because I haven't finished building or scoped in the house that I want to make? I'm still building my foundation, dog. I ain't done yet. Got a couple windows, got a couple doors on it. You know what I'm saying? Like, painting the walls a little bit. My house ain't done yet. Yeah. Will it be eventually? Of course. But until then, bro, I'm still building, dog.
Yeah.
So you just got to embrace it, man.
And I think that's the beauty of the journey. Like you said, there's no peak until you pass away. Like,
yeah,
I think that's when you reach your peak. If you truly do everything that God has called you to do and you pass, I think that's the peak.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's I was telling somebody the other day, like, I've fallen in love with the process of knowing that I can talk to God, and it's not like I'm on a minute phone and I'm on a minute's restriction.
Seriously.
Or I'm on a time limit, like at some point it's like, all right, bro, I gotta go. I gotta get ready for work, or I'm gonna hit you up, or da da.
Oh, I ain't want nothing.
Yeah,
like, out of here. We done been talking 2 hours, but I don't want nothing.
Yeah, like, and it's like with God, it's like you can talk to him however long you need to, but also it's that listening part as well that gives you the discernment. I'm a big person on, like, I pray to God for discernment, like, often, and wanting to. I'm a person, I've said this multiple times, like, once God showed me what it is I need to do, I'm doing it. I ain't like, no, I can't do that, bro. I can't, I ain't with that. What are they gonna say? Like, I ain't worried about none of that. Like, I'm not worried about none of that, bro. And I'm just a person that's like, once you show me the way, I'm going there. Like, again, you flawed, you mess up, you make mistakes, but I'm intentional about doing what God wants me to do. And that's the beauty of the journey, because you can always go to God. I think a pastor said it this way, like, have the best cheat code is having access to God. You know what I'm saying? Like, being able to talk to him and know that he hears you, being able to listen to him and know when you listen to him, you can rest in what he's telling you, and you not just hear him, but you understand exactly what he's saying. And even if you don't right then and there, he gives you steps. He gives you, I said it the other day, he gives you practical, steps to conquer personal problems. Mm-hmm. So it's like the fact that I can talk to God about any and everything. He's not going to shun me. He's going to keep it real with me. He's going to hold me accountable, but he's not going to judge me, because he already knew I was going to cuss somebody out. Not to say that I did.
Right.
But he knew I was going to be upset about something. He knew that, I was going to squander this situation, but he still gives me the grace. And I think when you understand how God's grace and mercy, extends to you, like the Bible says, where sin is, grace and mercy abounds much more, so at the end of the day, when I think what I've been learning is, like, when I see how good God is to me, in spite of myself, it helps me to do the same for others. Now, granted, I'm not saying if somebody rob you, you should be like, man, I'm going to go find him and I'm going to pray with him.
Right.
Like, I'm not saying, and I'm not saying don't pray for the person, but I'm saying, like, you got to get to a place where God is able to give you one of the greatest reality checks and realize, like, man, I work with you day in and day out. And it was like, bro, I ain't gonna lie, the summer camp I working at, I done caught myself so many times, or even at my school, like, bro, this kid irritating. Like, dog, you just a silly nigga. Like, you just irritating, dog. Like, I told a kid the other day, like, don't be that guy, bro. Because if you want to be that guy with me, I'm gonna let you be that guy. But then I had to think, like, bro, at 26, I'm still a goofball. I'm still a silly person, bro. I love having fun. But back then, like I told one of my homeboys, bro, like, people knew how I was in school. Wherever it was at, I ain't wait till class was over to clown. Wherever it's happening at, that's where it's happening at. Wherever the jokes is happening, I was big into wrestling, WWE. We was wrestling during class. We was wrestling in the bathroom. Yeah. Like, but it's like God is showing you, like, man, think about how much grace I allowed your teachers and your parents and your aunts, your uncles, your family members, your friends to have with you. That don't mean just let people walk all over you, but consider the grace, bro. Like, consider the grace that I give you, knowing that you're going to go out here and say, Lord, you're going to pray to me, and Lord, I want to have a great day. I want to have a better attitude. Soon as you get on the road, you cussing people out. Something that happened at your job, you done made a mistake and called a white man a nigga. Like, all this stuff. But God still give you grace. He love you the same. His love don't change, don't switch up like most people.
Yeah.
And that lets me know,
For sure,
because of the flaws that you mentioned, because of the imperfections, we shouldn't be even wasting no time judging folks. We should be spending more time praying to God, asking him to like do what David said. God, create in me a clean heart so that I can be more and more like you, and I can walk in the way that you would have me to go, and I can extend that grace. You know, so I just think a big key to this conversation is grace and understanding the fact that we all are a WIP, a work in progress. And it's a day by day, you know, situation. And like we got to do like the Bible said, man, like die to self daily. It's a constant. You realize, bro, I used to think people like, bro, you just talking, bro. Like, you know, because sometimes church people can be crazy. They can say wild stuff. You know, they got this thing where, you know, your angel ain't going with you in the movie theaters if you go see Avengers. Like, if that's the case, man, I should have been dead, dog. I've seen so many Marvel movies, so many movies in general. I should be dead right now. I should be blind. I should be all types of stuff. Yeah. But I used to hear church people say, like, man, you know, when you don't pray or when you don't read your devotional, or like you could just see a difference. I'm like, bro, you just talking. Like, that's some old head stuff. Yeah. But I would see, man, when I would go without reading my devotion, when I would go without prayer, my mind would be all over the place, or stuff that normally wouldn't get me off track. I'm like, bro, why am I irritated this easily today? And it's like, don't get me wrong, we all have our days where just stuff get to us, but it's that part when you don't take those times and those action steps to do what you said, constantly work on yourself and realize, like, I got to give myself grace. I got to give other people grace. And I got to realize that I'm an unfinished product. And not only that, because sometimes people will hear what we saying and run with it. So I always like to, you know, be clear on what I'm saying. As far as like being an unfinished product or a project, like, that don't mean like you resting at like, oh, baby, I'm an unfinished product. Like, just let me keep cheating. Right. Like, nah, nobody's saying that, dog. So if you watch this episode and you go back, and I'm an unfinished product. No, don't blame us for why your relationship is in shambles, dog. You did that. Or like, yo, bro, I was late today. I'm an unfinished product. Like, nah, bro, set your alarm, dog. Like, I'm not saying because you're an unfinished product, because that's what people do, bro. Like, bro, God know me. I'm gonna just keep smoking, bro. I'm gonna keep trying to crack. Like, no, bro, we're not saying that. What it is this. The fact that you're an unfinished product, give yourself grace, but also continue to talk to God, continue to get around a community that's positive, that actually care, and they're having those action steps, and they've been through what you've been through, so that now you're giving yourself grace when you mess up, but you understand, like, bro, I got this because God got me. And I'm not resting in the fact that I'm born in sin or I'm an imperfect individual. I'm flawed. I'm saying, yeah, I shouldn't have said that. Yeah, I shouldn't have done that. Yeah, I shouldn't have went there. But I've said sorry to this person. I've righted my wrongs, and I'm going to continue to grow. Don't rest in it. Continue to see what you can learn from it, but also give yourself grace. Yeah. So I want to be clear, dog. I want y'all running off saying like, yo, bro, like, I'm going to keep stealing, bro. I'm an unfinished product, bro. Like, I'm going to keep scamming, yo. I'm an unfinished product, bro. Right. Like, nah, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying to give yourself grace, but also realize as you give yourself grace, don't rest in the fact that, oh man, this is what it is. I can't get any better. No, you can get better. You just got to stack the days. You know, don't count the days, make the days count. Mm-hmm. And that's just how I feel about that, man, at the end of the day. Yep. So as we're, you know, winding down or whatever, like for you, like in terms of everything that you are, you know, going through or, you know, sorting out in your life, whether it be the music, whether it be the healing, and we talked about being unfinished products. Like, so for you, what do you think you fear more fear of success or fear of failure?
Success. I fail every day. So it's like, you're going to fail like, bro, if you tell yourself, man, I know I got to go to work at this time, and you don't go, you didn't keep your promise. That don't mean you're a failure. You just failed at keeping that promise to yourself. I fail every day, dog. Like sometimes I write a song, this finna hit. I record it, it wasn't it. That don't mean I'm a failure. I just failed at the promise I made to myself. You gonna fail in life. I done failed several times. I done failed at relationships. I done failed at keeping promises. I done failed at saving money. I done failed at keeping my word to God. I done failed several times. But yeah, sometimes I fear success because I feel like I'm not worthy of it at times. Because when you I had a line on an unreleased song where I said, I've grown so accustomed to hurt and disappointment that changing and healing seems wrong to me. So it's like success, like when I was on TikTok, when I first started a long time ago and I was gaining success, gaining rapid followers, I started to question it. I started to think this is wrong. You have a girl come in your life that actually likes you for you, you question it. Anytime you succeed or something's going well, you question it. And that's a trauma response that you have because you've attached your identity to disappointment and hurt. So you don't think that you're worthy. And that's something I'm working on too. Like I told you, I'm still working, bro. Like, yeah, I fear success all the time. Or you could be so good at what you do and have people praise you and feel like, oh, well, I don't want to mess up. So I'm going to just stop. You fear because you feel like you're not worthy of it. Yeah. And that's when you got to tell yourself, bro, like you are worthy of good things. You are worthy of success. When you do succeed or go into therapy and you actually changing, don't be surprised. Yeah. You're human. Of course you're going to change if you're putting the work in. You got to detach your identity from hurt, detach your identity from disappointment, detach your identity from surviving and try to heal. Yeah. You got to heal yourself. And on your journey of healing yourself, the most important thing I want everybody to always remember that when you're on this journey of healing yourself, dog, like you said, extend grace to yourself as much as you can, bro. Yeah. Because you're not going to feel like it every day. Yeah. You're not going to want to, bro, I don't want to go to therapy all the time. I don't even want to get up and go to the gym all the time. Yeah. That's a part of me having to step outside my comfort zone and do something. When me and my ex-girlfriend broke up, I was hurt. I didn't want to let her go. Yeah. And I'm pretty sure she had times she didn't want to let me go. But you got to do what's best for you in order for you to heal as a person. You got to let go. You got to let go. It's always something better for you. And don't fear change. Yeah. Do not fear change. Don't fear change. Like anytime change happens, it's always something better for you for the most part because it's putting you in an uncomfortable situation in order for you to grow as a person. Yeah. You never want to get too comfortable. So, yeah, man. And I just got some great things coming, bro. I'm trying to kill that fear of success. Yeah. No failure gonna happen, but I just take it one day at a time with myself, try to put it into the music, try to live right, try to connect with God as much as I can. Because another thing you said earlier too was you was like, God ain't gonna shun you. He always got access to him. He ain't gonna judge you. You can talk to him, vent to him, and I be talking to God for hours. Yeah. Literally. Like, you sit there and you really just speaking to him. And sometimes it done been times I done been ashamed to talk to God because I knew I was wrong for what I did. But you gotta talk to him about your fear. Yeah. I fear success. I fear this. I fear that. I'm working on this. I'm scared of this happening. Okay, I'm proud of myself for this. Why do I do this, Lord? Like, why do I, you know what I mean? So again, man, not to ramble too much, but it's an up and down process. But yeah, man, you'll come along. You'll come along for sure. You reminded me of this episode I shot, and bro, I ain't gonna lie, I thought it was actually last season. I thought and what made it even worse, I had my converSAYtion podcast gear on. Bro, I was ready, dog. I had my cameraman come in and shoot the pictures, and it was called Cycles, because all that week I had been listening to my favorite gospel artist, Jonathan McReynolds, and he got a song called Cycles, and he was talking about, one of the lyrics, and I actually mentioned it in there, where he's like, the devil, he learns from our mistakes, even if we don't. And that's how he keeps us in cycles. And so, like, I had mentioned that at some point during the podcast, and I was talking about the different things I was overcoming, the new things that I was learning, and how I didn't want to stay in the same cycles. How I was talking to my mentees about how it's cycles for everything. It's good cycles and it's bad cycles, but everything that happened before us, we have no control over. But
things that start from us on down, we have control over. And I'm like, man, this episode finna be so crazy. I did a solo episode because I was trying to do, and even like I want to do this season, like more solo episodes talking about different things, being vulnerable and talking about different things that are on my heart and on my mind. And I'm like, bro, this joint gonna go crazy. I released the promo and all that. Bro, still to this day, that joint got 9 views. But I say that to say what you said earlier. Like, it's a work in progress. I'm like, okay, what can I do? And I know that I don't do it for the views. Views are nice. Subscribers, I'm appreciative of all of them. But at the end of the day, if don't nobody subscribe to what I'm doing, or if I only got 21 subscribers, I got 93 now. I want to take that up a notch. Yeah. But if I only had 15, I would still put out content. I would still put out, because it's more than a view to me. If I get one like, if I get somebody who comment under a post, I help somebody today. And that's the whole goal for me. I don't care about, oh, bro, this joint got 2 views. But those 2 people, for however long they watched or listened to my podcast, I hope they got something for it. That's why you hear me say my tagline, we turn conversation into application, because you may hear me or one of my guests say something that triggers something or that ignites something in you. And now my goal is to help you take this conversation and use whatever nuggets you've learned or takeaways that you have and turn it into an application, and so that your life can look a little different. Mm-hmm. That's why I do this. That's why I talk the way that I talk. I have the people on that I have on, bro. And it's like, you can't, sometimes, you get, they say comparison is the thief of joy, and sometimes I'm never been a person where I'd be like, bro, they podcast way better. Like, I don't even be on that type of stuff with anything in life in general. But sometimes people can get to that place and you forget, like, God has given you something special, bro. Like, I used to talk a lot in class. I still talk a lot now. But it's a reason why I'm doing what I'm doing. It's a reason why I work in a school. It's a reason why I'm a mentor. It's a reason why I do stuff at my church. It's a reason why I'm speaking. I got my own podcast, because God has given me a gift, bro. My aunt would say I'm a social butterfly. My other aunt would say I got the gift of gab. But it's like, at the end of the day, I'm doing this to help somebody, to be a voice for somebody. The numbers gonna come if I walk in my purpose. All the extra stuff, that's already written if I do exactly what I'm supposed to do. Mm-hmm. And the stuff that ain't supposed to be there, it wasn't for me. If I do everything that God tell me to do, I can be content, bro. Because whatever didn't come wasn't never supposed to be there in the first place. Yep. So that conversation of fear of success versus fear of failure, I think more people are like what you said with success, because you say you fail, that happens more often than not, but when you reach a peak, or when you reach a, type of success where you feel it's a peak, you're like, dang, I don't want to let nobody down. I put out this song. Like, when Roddy Ricch came out with Sorry for Being Antisocial, then after that, he dropped them other albums. I'm like, I ain't gonna lie, bro. He dropped the promo. I'm like, oh my God, this joint about to be hard. It wasn't hard. But he's still in the studio. I ain't gonna say Roddy Ricch he not one of my favorite artists no more. Or like a dude, Kalante Gavin, a gospel artist I listen to. He do a lot of great old hymn medleys. But when he dropped his album, and I hate to say this about a gospel album, but I'm like, I ain't like it. I only like one song off of there. And he had like 20 tracks. Yeah. But it's like, he ain't gonna look at me and be like, oh, I'm done with music. I'm done using my voice that God gave me. Roddy Ricch ain't gonna do that either. But it's like, you learn and you grow and you realize, again, the 2 factors we've been talking about, that grace and realize you're an unfinished product. So, man, I've enjoyed this conversation, bro, and it's opened my eyes to a lot more. But as we end the podcast, man, I don't got a quote for y'all today. We gonna end this like Will Smith. Sometimes I'm an action star, and sometimes I'm an actor star. And we'll see y'all same time, same place. Appreciate you, dog. Man. That episode gonna be fire, bro. That episode gonna be fire. Yeah, I think yours is the 5th. I think yours is the 5th one. Let me go because I got it lined up.